today we're going to be talking about some bookish quirks.
Jesse and I are going to have a nice little bookish chat. We both put together a list of weird things that people may or may not do while they're reading, and we're going to compare our answers. I suspect that Jesse and I will differ on most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that while we have like very similar taste in books, we're very different as people. So I think it's going to be
very different.
Interesting.
We have very different processes of doing things, so we'll see. So the first one is using bookmarks versus folding the pages.
I am a big fan of bookmarks. I'm very particular about how fancy and how nice my books look, though. Like, I dropped. So I had these bookshelves that were not staying on my wall, and A Court of Mist and Fury book kept falling off of it, and it got like a big dent in like the top of the cover. And so I bought a new one, and now a nice new one sits on my shelf. And the other one is just somewhere else in my room because I literally need them to look perfect.
Yeah, Jesse just told me this story the other day, and I just looked at her like, we are such different human beings. Because and please brace yourself for this, because you're gonna probably hate me. I fold my pages.
So I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
There are probably people watching this that are like, how could you do that? You know, there are so many people within the book community that like, this is a crime. How could you fold your pages? How could you ruin your books?
So welcome to our last book video.
I like for my books to feel very well read. Maybe your ideal bookstore would be a very pretty, aesthetic, like perfect sparkly one. And mine would be some like rundown, like scary looking bookshop with like piles and piles of mismatched books everywhere.
With a scary old man walking
with like
around.
A scary old man with a beard just like creeping around, and like a weird fat fluffy cat.
Fluffy cat.
So I try to create that within my books.
If I see a scary old man walking around our apartment, I'm gonna be really concerned.
I also really I don't enjoy using bookmarks. Like I dislike it, because to me it just feels like something I have to do, and it's just in the way, and I don't want to deal with it, and it's just easier to just fold my pages. Snacking while reading versus not snacking.
For me, it depends on what I'm snacking on. Like I can't eat chocolate while I'm
very
reading.
specific.
Just no, because I have a tendency to get chocolate all over my hands. Like it melts on my fingertips, and I don't know how, because like I'll be really careful about it, and somehow, like I will make sure there's no chocolate in my hands, and somehow I will still find chocolate in places.
That is a fun fact about you.
That actually is a really weird fact about me.
I almost never snack when I read, because I can't focus. Like I can't. I'm a very bad multitasker.
Like I will read while I'm eating, as opposed to I will eat while I'm reading.
That makes sense. Yeah. I just feel like the crunching distracts me.
I feel like I've mastered the art of putting my book in front of me, and then putting my plate on here and just turning pages while I eat.
That takes skill and practice.
Yes, I'm very talented. I know.
Except with chocolate.
Except with chocolate, apparently, yes.
So the next one is reading at night versus morning.
Reading at night, I really do love reading into that. I read like into the middle of the night. When I first read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I stayed up till 5 a.m. reading.
I remember that. I remember that very well.
You were up in the middle of the night and scared the hell out of me when you opened your door, and I was like, who's awake? But I think if I had to pick, I would pick reading at night. But it also just very much depends on my mood that day, I think.
The past 3 nights, I've been up until like 4 a.m. reading The Cruel Prince by Holly Black trilogy. Which I will not talk about that in this video, but like, oh my god.
Take your word for it.
Yeah,
so far. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we don't have a preferred time.
No. Yeah, either or all the time, frankly. Yeah.
Writing down passages from books, so like writing down quotes and stuff that you like as you're reading.
Oh yeah, my friend Bridget does this. She writes down passages like that she really, really likes so she can like go back and read them later, which I think is interesting. And I feel like I do this in a different way where like I go back and read my favorite passages over again, but I never write them out. I've never done that before.
I've never done that before. I wish that I was that kind of person.
It's cool though.
Like those are the cool people that do that. So our next one is reading in bed versus other places.
Pre-COVID, I really love roaming around and reading. Like there's this bench by the Dunkin' Donuts that I really like to sit at and read.
Aww.
But I haven't been able to really do that.
Yeah.
And I love reading in parks as well. But I'm a big fan of reading in bed as well. So.
Yeah, nothing can beat reading in bed, I think. I think it's strictly bed or couch or cozy armchair. Sometimes if I'm really hooked on a book, I'll read like waiting for a doctor's appointment or like at random places I'll just bring my book with me. But
that I do a lot though. I bring books everywhere. Like I would read at work all the time. I was very much known for being that girl. Like I read at lunch all the time. I read on the train. Who am I kidding? I read everywhere. I read on the subway to work. And back from work if I'm really into a book. Also, I read in my mom's house in the summer. I read in the pool. I read in the bath. Okay, I don't just read in bed.
I read everywhere.
I read everywhere.
So the next one is, this is a good one. Reading with music versus without music.
Silence.
Yes.
I need silence. Absolutely.
Complete silence. Okay. Reading more than one book at a time.
No.
Me neither. Rereading books.
I love to reread books, especially like if I just finished them and I'm still like sucked into the world. I'm like, no, I must reread it. Like I reread ACOTAR like twice, and I reread.
Oh my gosh, really?
I reread it twice.
She just recently read ACOTAR, so that's really funny.
Yeah,
that she has already reread it.
Same thing with Six of Crows. I read it 3 times over the summer, twice in a row, and then once after I went back and read Grease Reverse, the Shadow of Bone trilogy, and then I read it again. Yeah, I have a problem.
I never reread books, and I don't really rewatch movies either, except for like Christmas movies. And Harry Potter. No, I don't reread books.
Interesting.
It's like I read it and I don't want to do it again. Talking to your book while reading.
I think I talk to the book in my head. I don't usually talk to it out loud unless something really, really catastrophic happens. Then I'm like, or like, oh no, or like, you bastard.
I'll be like, no, or like, ah. Crying versus not crying.
I cried in the Throne of Glass series several times. I cried in ACOTAR several times. I cried. Yeah. Those are like the big. Oh, I cried at Crescent City a couple of times too, but you wouldn't know that because you haven't read it yet. But
Jessie really wants me to read.
She needs to read Crescent City. It's not common, but it happens.
I cry during probably like every single book that I read.
There are just certain moments where I'm like, no. It's very devastating when you get me to cry, and you should be very proud of yourselves.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My new goal is to write a book, and you will cry.
Recommend books that will make me cry in the comments.
We should do a video on that.
We should.
Books that will make you cry. Tell us if you want to see that video. Because I have so many.
Yeah. Sure, you have more than I. Well, you cry. Well,
but it's like then again, I cry during all the books, so I don't know
books that will make Jessie cry. even make Jessie cry.
Probably shouldn't. Yeah, books that will make Jessie cry, because books that will make Sophie cry is every single book. And yeah, that's it, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.